Welcome to another episode of Gracias, Come Again. I am smiling. My guest is smiling. We were doing the most behind the scenes, but we said, you know what? Let's cut on the mic. Let's turn the cameras and let's roll. Amirah Vann is here with me today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be sitting opposite you.
Actress, singer, mom, wife. I saw that you got married.
Yeah. That's
Congratulations
right.
on the babies, on the wedding, on everything. Doc right now is happening on Fox. Dr. Gina Walker.
I love it. I love it. I love the show. I love the character. That first script, I was like, as soon as I read it, I was like, yo, this is powerful. And then when they told me that it was based on a real story,
I saw that.
That blew me away. Because I was just like, imagine you waking up and you're like ready to hug your husband and he's like, nah, boo.
We've been divorced.
We've been divorced. I got a whole nother life. And I said, oh my God, ¿qué hago?
I love that. And I love your character and I love the dynamics of the friendship. Because I'm like, that would be homie. That would be the homie right there.
Yeah. You know, when I first met Molly Parker, it was so funny. I walked into the room and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. It's going to be light work. You know?
Vibed right away?
We vibed right away. And it's so funny. We didn't know we had a similar work ethic, but we do. Like, there's no ego involved. We're all about like, okay, what's happening? How do we make it the realest possible? And, you know, in TV, you don't get a lot of rehearsal time. So sometimes we'll come in and we'll be like, this is not working. Okay. And no one's trying to like answer a question to be like, ay, yo sé. You know,
no hay tiempo.
Right, no hay tiempo. So we just kind of just talk about it. We'll just talk about it, and sometimes it's rhythm, and it's like, oh, right now we're doing da, 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 and it's more like da 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 ba. You know what I mean?
And lunch is served.
And listen, and if you know. And I'm a person that's very musical, so that rhythm always speaks to me too.
Theater was your thing to begin with?
Yeah, that's how I started. So I'm a New Yorker. So
let's talk about it.
Queens girl? Talk about it. Queens, Far Rockaway. I was born in Brooklyn, though, so I always got to rep Brooklyn.
There you go.
Also, because I was born there, and I grew up in a church there.
Nah, you got to pick a borough. Amirah, you can't be claiming mad boroughs.
But it has to be Far Rock.
Okay, fine.
It does. You know what I mean? That's where I was stomping.
Queens get the money.
Queens get the
anyway.
dollar bill, y'all. So that's real. You know?
Far Rock your whole life?
Far Rock my whole life. I mean, but then it's so crazy because I do feel a little bit like every borough because then I went to Midwood for high school.
Okay.
But I graduated from Far Rock.
Okay.
In Far Rockaway. Then I went to for Fordham in not Long Island City. I went to Fordham at Lincoln Center.
Oh, nice.
And I majored in theater there. And I think, when you do that kind of job, it's just like, at that time, it was like LA or New York. So I was just like, well, there's no real reason to leave New York. So then I went to NYU for grad school.
I love that. You went to Tisch, right?
Yeah, I went to Tisch.
I love that.
Yeah, so New York the whole time.
Now let's bring it back. Mom, Puerto Rican?
That's right.
Dad, African American?
That's right.
Where did they meet? Talk to me.
I know. Oh, that's not. You know what? Nobody ever asked me that question.
I want to know.
That's a great question.
wanting to be all in the business. High school
Hello?
sweethearts?
No, not at all. Actually, my tio, they were in the military together, and my tio brought him home. Right? Oh. And then when they came home, they were going to hang out that night. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, okay, they're going to go out. And my mom came out and my mom was just like, yo, you can't go out like that. And so she took his like pants and she was like, old school.
Your dad? To your dad?
To my dad.
First time meeting him?
Well, she had 9 brothers.
Oh.
So this is like, you know what I mean? So she was just like, she was
used
to.
That's not her brother.
Well, listen, honey. Don't start no shit. Listen.
Clock it, Amirah.
It's already started, right? It started and finished and I'm here. So actually, you're right.
She
put the ironing board out and she put the little, when they do like the little papel on top of the pants so it doesn't, no
like
tiene
starch?
brilla.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So she did that. And when he took his pants down and he like took them out and saw how nicely they were pressed. And he's, the military men. And he said, pero Victor, yo no voy para ningún sitio. I mean, he didn't say it in Spanish because, he was African American. But I had to say it in Spanish because it had that swag to it, you know? He was like, I'm not going anywhere. He was like, I found my wife right here.
Yo me quedo aquí.
Me quedo aquí. And that's how it started, actually.
That's insane. Yeah. I love that story.
Yeah.
And a love story was born right then and there with the iron pants.
With the iron pants, I know. Which is like, we want a better start than that, So
I like that. I like that story because you know what? It puts forth like caring before I even know you.
Yes.
Which to your dad, as a military man, he must have been like, this is what I need.
Right.
I don't need somebody in the streets. I need me a solid woman.
Come on now. Come on. That's a word. That's the word you just dropped. Right? All these young girls, listen, message, okay? You out here trying to sell this and sell that. Iron you some pants, boo.
Exactly. Are you an only child?
No, I have an older sister, 6 years older.
Older sister?
Yeah, it's just the two of us. So she's retired now, but she was a teacher as well.
She was an educator?
Yeah, she was an educator. She was a principal.
Why do you say as well?
In high school. Well, my mom, because she was a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Of
so I
course,
come
your
from a
dad went for
family
it.
of
She's a teacher,
educators.
and she ironing,
Yeah.
and she comes with a cosign from her brother.
All the things.
Where's my
Mom
ring?
is all the things. She's the reason I'm here. Like the sacrifices she made.
God bless.
Because we didn't come from money, we didn't come from opportunity, but it was like it's just bendiciones all along the way because
Amen.
of character. Because of who she was as a woman, and people being like looking out for her and be like, Gladys, she always tells me about this woman she was teaching with and was just like, yo, you guys don't have, I know you have two little girls and you don't have a washer and dryer. And that's a story she always remembers because someone blessed her with like a washer and dryer.
That's a blessing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things along the way that you just look back and you go, wow, how did we stay afloat? How did we make it? They let me be in a camp to keep me busy.
What kind of camp?
It was Coleman Country Day Camp. I won't
Where
forget
was
it.
it?
In Long Island.
Coleman Country.
Coleman Country. Shout out to Coleman Country Day Camp.
Oh my God, I feel like my nephew went there in Belmore.
I'm sure your nephew went
In
there.
Belmore?
I saw the bus the other day and I almost lost my mind. I was like, this is still a thing?
It's off of Sunrise Highway, I think it is.
I can't even
Yeah,
remember
my
because I
nephew
was a
definitely
kid.
went there. And you went there?
And I went there. But the thing is like with these kids, you got to keep kids busy.
Oh,
You think like, oh, all these kids are like, kids are just, they actually want to, in my personal opinion, I have two children now, my two daughters. And it's just like, children want to be kids. They grow up fast because you ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? And like my mom's biggest thing was like, let me keep her busy, whether she said it or not, but she just was smart enough to know, And I was doing archery and doing stuff that like a kid from Rockaway, with no money. And my father passed away young, sadly. So like I had it was just solamente Dios.
Archery.
Dios y mi mamá.
That's some real white folks.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, when the hell? And so
Tennis?
right,
Golf,
archery.
todo.
I know.
She said you're gonna be well rounded.
Yeah, and busy, so I can keep my ass out of getting lost in mess. You know what I'm saying?
And being another teen statistic.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing for us in our city. It was just like mom was like pa la casa, pa dentro. You can't have no
That's right.
boyfriends. When
Yeah.
Latina moms were like, I'm gonna make sure my daughter makes it to where she needs to make it. Sometimes they rule with an iron fist, but when we think about it now, we're like,
Esas son bendiciones.
she had to, right?
Absolutely.
Especially, you're in Far Rock. It's like as soon as you walk outside, everybody's like,
Absolutely.
mira que linda, mira que joven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can fall victim, to your environment. And,
And the
predators.
thing is, and I think as people of color too, we have so much spark. It's our gift. It really is. And I get it from both cultures. And both cultures have it. From my Latina side, I remember because we used to live. Upstairs was my tio, and so we just have. There would be days where we would
The
just
same Theo?
no, it's a different one. I told you 9 brothers, so it was a lot of tios. But like, we just would get like things from like the pots from the kitchen. It was always something from the kitchen. I don't know why, but all of our instruments were from the kitchen.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like, but it was like full of that kind of life brings a lot of attention. And so it's just like you do have to protect your children because you don't want to put out that light. You want that light to keep shining bright, but you got to protect it.
Yeah, all the way to the
And I see that in my daughters now. I'm like, oh wow,
How
it's such
old
a
are they? They're little,
oh
right?
my God, 18 months
As a
and
baby?
4 years old.
Where are they now? That's
Con papi, because this is my moment, coño.
you see. That's what I was like, oh my God, her babies are little. I was like, who's gonna stay with the baby? I said, maybe she'll bring them. But I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, that's part of my New Year's resolution, honey. It really is. It's about finding that balance, because we started when we filmed in Toronto. We filmed Doc, and like I feel like that first season was so much about, making sure everybody's in order, making sure the husband's happy, making sure the kids are in the right, like, do we find the right school? Is it close enough? Is it going to stimulate her? Is there enough diversity? All the questions that you ask as a parent, my job, can I do, am I close enough to work? Am I making sure that I can focus and be prepared? You know what I mean? And so I found myself being like, okay, wait, now this second season, I need self-care. I need my amigas. I need to go. You know what I'm saying?
You have to. You
Me
have
tengo
to
que gozar un poco.
You still have to be you.
I need a moment. And I'm one to be like, great, do the press. And then literally tonight get on the plane and go back to my kids. Because that's the kind of mom. That's the Latin mother in me.
These babies brand new,
You know?
too. Tú todavía estás ahí, coqueta and mona with your babies. You're like, I still sleep with my babies.
I love them. But I also am learning. I'm learning that it's just like, and listen, I say all this like I'm so independent, but I am such a present mom, and I really believe in that. And I think being an actor has made me a better mom because I just value so much that I'm like, oh, cuando estamos comiendo desayuno, it's like that matters. Singing the same song. Like my mom actually sang Despierta, that song. You know that song? She used to sing it to me every morning. So that's a tradition I pass on to my daughters. But I'm like, no, I want to go into the room and say, Despierta, mi bien, despierta.
Oh,
Mira
that's so
que
sweet.
ya amaneció. You know? And that little sweet moment, it's just like, I want to give that because there's sometimes I leave at 4 a.m. and I don't see them. And I come home and it's a 14-hour day and they're already in bed. So, you just learn to really be present in the moments that you are present, But now I'm like, and also, mommy needs a break.
Oh, no, 100%. You're here with your friend today, right?
That's right, my bestie.
She's from Far Rockaway, too?
From Far Rockaway since we were 12.
Oh, my God, that's so dope. I love that you're still
It's over
connected
30
that way.
years, honey. Can you believe that? I thought about that, and I was like, girl, we've been friends for... I said, I got a friend over 30... Yo soy vieja ya.
Shut up.
Over 30... When you say you got a friend for over 30
I'm
years...
trying to think. Yeah, I have my friend for 30 years, too.
Shit.
I met her in kindergarten.
That's hello.
You met yours in kindergarten?
That's
too,
right.
Exactly.
I'm picking up what you putting down.
but that says a lot about you. There's people who have friendships that fall out in 1 year.
Facts.
In 2 years, in 5 years. You have somebody, not to say that it was always perfect, but the fact that you were able to, if there were differences, to come back and understand the importance of, having a friend that knows you in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, she's seen it all. She's seen it all. And the thing is, she checked me the other day and it wasn't like, no fue gran cosa, but it was something where it was just a difference of opinion. And that's why you keep friends for that
And
long.
you're not used to that?
No, it's great.
Oh, okay, good.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I value her. Is exactly what you were saying, is because you just go, no one else, I don't know. It was actually such a light situation that it's easy for someone to just be like, oh, see, Amirah. You know what I mean? Because it's such a light thing. They won't, but because she's a real one, she's been my friend for years. She was like, I don't know. I kind of feel like what she's doing is good for her. And I was like, yo, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking from my eyes, which is right too, because I need to honor myself. But she brought in another perspective, and I was like, that's why you keep those day ones, because they don't hesitate to keep it real, because there's nothing to gain. She has nothing to gain from me.
There's no ulterior motives. It's just
No
like,
ulterior motives.
I knew you from day one. Okay,
Right.
we used to share clothes.
We got dirty. We have pictures of us with dirty feet from dancing around the house, going to reggae clubs. Like, oh yeah.
That's like my best friend. She's we were best friends in high school. She's out in Florida now. She still sends me these pictures. I'm like, bitch, you have to still. Don't send me this
Right.
shit.
You're like, I'm on the air. Don't let people know.
First of all, who are these guys? I'm married now. She got those pictures.
Oh, not the guy pictures. She gotta burn that shit.
No. She will keep them. She never got married, so she kept everything.
Oh, brutal.
No me mandes esa vaina.
God,
Te voy a
right.
quemar el celular next time I see you.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. Is she friends with your husband? She better be. Wait, the pause. What's the pause, honey?
No, she's not his friend, but she's cool with
Okay,
him.
cool. Okay, that's good. All right. I was like, you in trouble.
I'm like, is she his friend? I'm like, nah, that was my friend.
Facts.
Now, theater, when did that start for you? Like, when were you like, I can act?
Oh, man.
Was it at the house? You started acting up?
Listen, I
Pretty
mean,
much.
it was, that's, we were already tan, taca, tan, taca, tan in casa.
Con todo el
But-
instrumento.
But I was kind of shy. It actually happened on a whim, because it was Midwood High School, and I remember they had this thing called BHA. I wonder if they have it still. It's called Black Heritage Alliance.
Okay.
And it was called a tribute to those who paved the way. And so they were honoring Tina Turner. So they were looking for a Tina Turner. So yo jugando, I like run down the auditorium. I have a lot of big curly hair.
Bien presentada.
Bien presentado. Right. And so I ran down there and I was like, "Taca, taca, taca," like that. And they were like, boom, you cast. Because, in high school, that's all you really
That's a
need.
Tina Turner.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like perfection. That's perfection. But I actually love it because I just kind of fell in love with the prep, because all I knew was like, me puso tan nerviosa. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, what do you mean I'm cast as this? So I just went into the mode that I knew, which was research, because I thought I was going to be a doctor, which is funny. I play a doctor now, And so I love math and I love science until then you go to college and you go, okay, ja, it's
This is
over
a
my
lot.
head. Ja, you lost me at divide the 2 by the 3 times the 4 with the little square. And I said, nah, me voy. I'm going to be an actor. But But I just fell in love with the research. So I started researching Tina Turner, researching her life, watching over and over, of course,
The movie was out already?
the movie that was out
Was it already out?
already.
Okay. Oh, you
with
had a
Angela
cheat code.
Bassett.
Okay.
Right. And I love Angela. I've worked with her since, so, just being able, and I fell in love with that. I was like, what? This is fantastic to kind of put yourself in another person's like situation and try to figure out how it would feel in your body. And, it was just wonderful. And of course, then I got into the theater program and the first
At Midwood?
at Midwood. So my first real like theatrical role with lines was Bertha Baumfleck. And I played a maid. I know. Okay. Which is just like you talk about like the curve that I was still a part of the generation that your first role is a maid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, which I'm glad for because that talks about the journey that I'm just like, no.
And now you're a doctor.
Right. I went from a maid boo to a doctor.
Exactly.
Where you learn along the way to start having to be real specific about what you want and, making sure you ask for what you want, making sure your team is on board, that they see that's a similar vision or willing to go on the ride with you, and take those chances and wait for those roles.
No, it's super important that your team be super aligned and not someone forcing you. Like, you've got to do this. Right. Take it. Even if it's a big name, even if it's a big studio, if it doesn't align with you and the core of, like, who you're trying to portray, they've got to be with you.
Absolutely. But you know what? I think the pobreza is a gift in that way. Because I feel like coming from nothing, I'm just like, I have no fear of losing something because I'm just like, been there, done that, boo. Like you're not gonna have me compromise my integrity because what? I'm gonna go back to what I was. I found happiness. You know what I'm saying? My mom taught me how to find pride and happiness in that place. So I don't fear that, and I feel like fear is a big motivator for bad decisions. And me being like, I'm all good like that with the simple life. It allows me to have a strong no game. And so I think that's where the courage comes from, that I can hold out for things and I can, because it's a hard industry.
Oh, yeah.
And there are moments when you just go, damn, I'm not working right now and I'm about to say no to this. Like, tú estás loca, you sure? Nah, and then I go, nah, it's all good. I'm going to say no because it matters. It mattered even before I had kids. It mattered what I was putting out there and what I was saying. And I always said, I was like, I want to be respected. I was like, awards can come, accolades come later, but I want people to I'd rather them say, why hasn't she gotten an award yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than be like, yo, she got mad awards. Why? You know what I mean?
Why she got all these awards? Who gave her
Right.
this?
Because I'm like, that's just time. That's just, that's just putting that work in over years. And then, someone acknowledges you and that feels good when that happens. But when you feel like you're on your path and people can look at you, and I run into fans and say, yo, thanks you for how you represent us. That's the biggest compliment for me. I'm like, oh, that gives me value, Valió la pena. I just think about that song. Valió la pena.
Oh my God, who's that? Mark Anthony?
Yeah.
That's
Lo
a
que era
good one.
necesario para estar contigo, amor. Ba-bam.
Boom.
I sing that to my daughter too.
You do?
Yeah. Because that song came to me. I was like, I know it's a love song, but I'm like, anyway, we digress. I went through, you go through challenges at childbirth, and I was like, yeah, valió la pena, no matter what.
100%. Now you look at your little babies and you're like,
yeah, all of it. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. It's all connected, even though
I love your shoot that you did for people.
Oh, thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Those
thank
were
you so
but
much.
people always delivers when it comes to the pictures.
Oh, dope.
If you're gonna give anybody the pictures, you're gonna give it to People Magazine.
Right.
They're gonna
Yeah, we had a good time with them.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did.
They know what they're doing. When they do those baby shoots and those pregnancy shoots,
yeah,
you already know it's going to be top tier.
Yeah.
They did a great job with your shoot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, Mom, how does she feel about everything that's happened? Did she expect it? Is she like, yo sabía? I saw greatness in you from the start. Moms.
I feel like every mom feels that way. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't say that, but she's so proud. And I think she's
still in New York?
She's in New York, yeah. I moved her close to me, so she lives near me. And now we film in Toronto, so I bring her out, and she just was with us for like a month, so she could be with her grandbabies.
I love that.
Yeah, necesitan abuela.
And
second to mom is abuela.
And you can feel safer, too.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that give you some type of peace of mind, knowing that, yeah, you're on this set, let's say 12 hours, pero mami está con las niñas?
That's right. That's right. And even as she gets older, it's just that watchful eye. And it's just el sentido. It's the same thing, that same gentleness. Because even my husband, you want balance with your mate. And so my husband is wonderful because he's very different. He's not me. He doesn't have that soft that softness, you know. And
There's
mommy,
a disciplinary and then there's a coddler.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though I don't know, I'm also the disciplinary. You know, it's a Latin mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
She said, listen,
But-
I'll be stepping up to the plate when I need to.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, my daughter's like, mommy, 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 mommy. But if I give her that look and I'm like, Nyla, no lo quiero decir otra vez. You know what I mean? She gonna be like, all right, ma.
Because that one look.
Right.
How
right.
different is your mom with them than she was with you?
Oh my gosh. Let me see. I know, right? That is funny because you're like, wait, mommy, but you never.
Softy now?
Right. Such a softie. Yeah, she wilds out with them. She'll let them do. But you know what's wild? My mom is she's an artist in the real sense. I'm like, I got it from her because she was a rebel. She used to drive my father crazy. I mean, you know, he died when I was 9, so I don't have that many years of memories, but I do have stories. And she said he came home one day and she let us. We were painting and writing on the walls, and he was
I
like,
love
"What
your
the
mom."
hell is going?" You know, granted, he was right. What the hell was
And
going
she said
on?
they're being creative?
That's right. But, you know, she's an artist.
Does she like to paint? Or
Yeah,
sing?
and now she paints like now in this stage of her life.
But take that back before she hears that.
Did you hear how quickly I changed it?
Exactly.
Did you?
Rewind.
I said, honey, she ain't gonna catch me out there.
She paints?
I said, so she paints now.
I love that.
Yeah, and my daughter loves it because, like, when I'm home, when I'm not filming, I take her to Abuelita's house. She calls her Ita for Abuelita.
I was going to say, she likes to call her abuela
calls
because
her
you know they be
Ita.
like, call me something else.
I know. No, she calls her Ita.
That's cute.
So she goes to Ita's house, and you know they both wake up, and they can take out the paints and the easel, and you know they just enjoy. And I think it's a beautiful bond between them.
That is, and you know, creating
Yeah.
art is therapeutic, and it's
Yeah.
long lasting. Like your body of work, you know what I'm saying? Your daughters are gonna be adults, and they can watch it.
Yeah.
And it's like the art your mother is creating. You know, you'll have it. You're like, my mom painted this, and you'll show people
Right.
what's on your wall.
Yeah, and she does a whole lot of like she does a lot of like Taino representation.
Oh,
And
really?
She'll put little figures, Taino figures on there. So it's a way to honor the culture because I think she's kind of, you know, she's a long time from Puerto Rico now. You know, she's because she's here with her grandbabies.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of family now to move to Florida, but we don't have a lot of people in Puerto Rico anymore. So it's just I
All
feel
the
like that's a
Boricuas are
way
in
for
Florida. It's okay.
facts. So it's like right. So it's like her way, I think, to hold on to the culture. So I love the fact that I'll be able to look at those pictures and like see the cookies that she planted, and you could see the tambors.
I
You know
love
what I
that.
mean?
I
And you
love
just
that.
go, oh, you know. Yeah, and a lot of Taino faces. You could just see like with the high cheekbones, and you know, you just go. She's holding on to our history.
The memories and our history, you know, and it's super important that we do that. You know, we can't come, you know, to America and then become. I don't want to use the word whitewash because we're not whitewash, but just I guess like
You can lose it.
you lose it. You lose the
Yeah.
culture. You know, if you don't speak the language, if you don't eat the food,
Yeah.
you know. Some people that I know that are adults, you know, they don't speak the language.
Yeah.
Now their kid will never speak the language, so we're kind of like losing traces of who we were.
Yeah.
So through her art, she's keeping us alive.
Yeah, and my kids are learning it. They're gonna learn it like me. You know, like me, I'll be out of practice. Like if I talk with you long enough, then I'll be like, ay, estamos hablando español, and it's there. But I'm like, but I'm like, okay, even if they learn Spanglish, like
It
I
goes
have
to, like,
it,
the back of your
I don't
brain a little
care.
bit?
Like right. So it's sometimes it's like rough start because I'm just
Nah,
like
you
I
gotta
speak
go
mostly
in the
English.
file cabinet. You'll be like, ven acá.
But pero está ahí.
Dame mi folder.
That's right. Dame mi
I am
folder.
ready to speak español.
So I'm like, yo, and I think it just opens up. I think language is beautiful, period. So I was
It
like,
is.
nah, my kids gotta know Spanish. They have to, you know, it has a sentiment to it. Our words are so much more romantic. I think about like Juan Luis Guerra and you know the poetry in his
love
language. Girl,
I was watching a concert that he did by the beach, like during Christmas. You know, I'm Dominican and we love watching concerts at home. You know,
facts.
and it was just like so beautiful. He was on the beach,
Yes.
and he was singing these songs from when I was a kid, and I knew word for word. It's like they're all
Yeah.
ingrained in my mind, memorized, and I'm like, wow.
I saw did you see the one where he sings Ojalá que llueva café en el campo and it started raining?
I didn't see that.
It's on YouTube. That one. I was
Really?
like, oh my
That
God,
was my
imagine
abuelita's
that.
song. She loved that song. She always sang
I
that
love
song. I guess it was, you know, a dream. Like
Yeah.
imagine that happen. Imagine
Yeah.
everybody who's poor, you know, tiene
Right.
café. Like,
Yeah.
then, you know, it's
But how
beautiful.
poetic is that? And you know,
Right.
those things, it's just like, oh yeah, imagine if it rained coffee. It doesn't sound as good.
No, absolutely not.
But when he sings it, you're like, oh, ojalá que llueva café en el campo. You go, oh,
I know,
wow.
you could smell the coffee,
You could
right?
smell the coffee. Estamos buscando pan. ¿Dónde está la mantequilla? Estamos riéndonos.
Oye,
Ay,
di que
sí.
la que di que se le olvida el español, está bien, está bien. Yo voy a put me on. You ready to narrate?
Oh man, it's good. It's good. It puts you in another place, you know. And I wanted to. I guess it's the theater in me because I grew up doing Shakespeare too.
The theatrics.
So
I
yeah,
felt it right there.
and theater is the same thing, you know. Like Shakespeare
Yeah.
is the same thing, or August Wilson, you know. So Shakespeare, you know, people hate Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare because it's the same thing. He just makes comparisons and analogies that you just go, oh my God, I never even saw myself like, you know, a rose in Harlem, you know, or something. You know, that's not his quote clearly, but it's just those beautiful comparisons. And so I just wanted to give my children the gift of the Spanish language and our culture, that how we express ourselves, and we're so romantic. And I'm just like, I wanted them to have that.
And I love that for them. They're gonna appreciate it because I thank my mom all the time. I'm like, thanks for teaching me the language. You know, it's helped me throughout my career.
Yeah,
it helps me when I travel. I'm like, I could go to 20 countries where I could speak the language,
Facts.
right? Hello.
That's right. That's right.
Me voy para Chile, me voy para Ecuador, me voy para El Salvador, everywhere.
That's right.
Thank you, Mom.
That's right. The only one that doesn't help is my husband.
He's American?
He's American. Yo, he's Nigerian and Guyanese. But it's so funny because I was so stupid. Listen, let me tell you this, honey. So I was dancing some song in the living room, and and I was like, and I was doing it, you know, and I was doing it, and I think it was a salsero. I think it was a salsero. I mean, I love salsa. That's my favorite, you know, Boricua. So I was like, you know, I'm doing it, and then he was like, what are they saying? And I was like, oh my God, this song. Yeah, I said something about, you know, that we're gonna do. I'm misquoting it, but you know, but I was like, you know, like it's kind of like, you know, empezamos suave y después salvajes. You know, we're gonna be savages.
That sounds like romantic.
And then I translated it, and he was like, oh hell no. He was like, nah. He was like, cause you know, he knows how much I love it, so he's like, go dancing with your girls. And now as he learns how romantic the language is, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go too, okay. I'll be right there while you dance with your girlfriends.
He's like, I'm gonna be there.
He's like, these Latin men are too damn romantic and you like it too much.
You remember when you would be able to dance with somebody who wasn't your spouse?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I remember my parents, they would dance with like other people, and I'm like, that's not dad, that's not mom.
That's right.
Like, this looks intimate.
Right.
That's not a thing anymore. But
I know. Now
another thing of Latinos, you know, they would go out dancing and just.
But also and intergenerationally, you know what I'm saying? You see abuelo out there, and then you see that, you know, the baby's up, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and you know everybody's out, everybody's having a good time.
Olvídate, I was in Puerto Rico for Sanse, which is like, I think like this week. You guys have the San Sebastian festival.
Yeah.
Everybody was out.
Yeah,
I'm talking like thousands of people, and I was just like, wow. And the kids and the grandparents. It was when Bad Bunny first dropped the album last year, so that island was on fire. I'm like, I could only imagine what's gonna happen now for Super Bowl.
Listen, all I need to hear is café con rum.
That's it.
That's my
yours?
joint.
That's
because it marries the old. I'm real old school. Like that's really what I know. If you name a bunch of new artists, I probably don't know them. I'm all in that Juan Luis Guerra era, you know, and Julio Iglesias. Like I'm old. So it's not that.
You better say it.
No. You know what? I'm misspeaking.
Iglesias.
You're right. Listen, thank you. Hello. But that's the thing is like I'm not old, but that's at that time I was with my Latina family. Like that's when I was living with my primos and living with my tios, and so culturally that was the influx of the music at that time. So after that, then we kind of like moved out, and then I was going to the black church. So in a sense, it's so funny culturally. Then I embraced like African American heritage because then I went to a Baptist church in Brooklyn, and so it's just like, but so like the foundation was all Latino, and then kind of in the middle it was like black, and now I'm like basically a mixture of just the whole pot. I got the whole pot.
Were you connected with your dad's family? That's how you ended up in a black church?
Well, yeah. Well, really, the pastor actually is my godfather.
Okay.
So they all knew each other because they were in Beds. They all grew up like around there, and like oh, my mom's gonna kill me now. The church is in Bed-Stuy, but she grew up in Brownsville. I think she grew up in Brownsville. So like they all were like, you know, roommates. So then he became the pastor. And so like he brought me home from the hospital, and you know what I mean? So then that's how we started going to that church. So that became our home church.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you still go there?
No, not anymore. I mean, you know, nowadays it's like, which I still want to, we're trying to figure that out now, because that was such formative years. And I feel like faith is still such a cornerstone of my life that I'm just like, yo, how do I, you know, with something traveling and filming, and
even if it's once a year.
Yeah.
You know, just standing in front of, I went to my old church from when I was a kid in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I stood and I remember I thought the church was so big, and I stood in front of it. I'm like,
I know,
this church is so little. I'm like,
yeah.
This
the
was
stairs
the
look big, right?
Those
Big stairs. Trying to go up in your little tacos.
I know, right? Remember those little Sunday outfits?
Oh, yeah.
Easter. Oh, my God. And our moms, you know, they just made it happen for us.
Yeah, they made it happen.
We were 5. My mother had to make it happen.
Oh, 5 of you guys?
Yeah. And my mother didn't even speak English. I'm like, how did this
Yeah.
woman do it?
Wow.
No clue. But here we are, appreciative and grateful for all her sacrifices.
I know
She
she's
in
proud of
Florida
you.
now.
Is she living her best
She
life?
living her best life in the gated community. She
Listen,
said-
my mom about to be her neighbor. I'm going to talk later because my mother's just like, listen, I need the sun. She's, these island women. They're like, listen, New York is cool, but
My
she's
mom
like,
won't come here. My
oh,
mom will not come
I
here
get
to
it.
visit.
I get
She's
it.
like, listen, I gave New York 30 years of my life.
Está bien, mami, está bien.
She be like, ella compró
Te
un apartamento.
visitamos.
She got his apartamento en Santo Domingo y su casa en la Florida. She's like,
Perfect. She said,
wherever is warm is where I'm at. She's like, yo no cojo frío a nadie.
hello.
She said, don't invite me over there. Now, right now, we're in the middle of the theater district.
No,
I want to talk theater. I'm a musical girl. I've probably seen about 60 musicals.
I love it.
Let's talk theater.
Listen, I just took my daughter for her first Broadway show.
Where'd you take her?
I took her to see Lion King because that's my favorite.
And her name is?
This is Nyla, the oldest, the 4-year-old.
Okay.
She loved it.
The Lion King is Nala.
That's
right.
No, my daughter's Nyla.
But
And
Lion King is
Nala,
Nala.
right?
Okay.
You're right.
All
Yeah. Nala's the so.
And how did it go?
She
Tell me.
loved it. It was like the most
was her
satisfying
face?
thing to like. I know. I looked. That's exactly right. I like looked, and I took her and her cousins. I have my nieces, and I like just to look down the row and to see them con la boca abierta, and they were like, oh my God, ¿qué está pasando? And that's the quality to be so good after so many years. The quality is so good of that show.
Isn't it like the longest running musical right now?
I believe it. I think it is. Right. I think it is.
Phantom is gone.
Yeah, right, exactly. Phantom had that. But yeah, and it's just extraordinary. It's just the puppetry and also to the musicality, like the music progressions. Like I cried just over that. But that might be because I sing, you know what I'm saying? But music, oh my God, it had me bawling. I was like, this is.
You know what you got to watch?
And I've seen that show so many times, The Lion
I've
King.
seen it a couple of times too. The Buena Vista Social Club.
I have to see that.
Please, Amirah, you will cry.
Shit,
The
maybe I need to go
music
tomorrow.
I've seen it twice already. Right now I have goosebumps.
Yeah,
I have a long
yeah.
sleeve shirt, but the music,
Yeah.
it's gonna take you to another world. It's gonna take you straight to Cuba. Please,
Yes.
please, please,
I want
please,
to go to Cuba.
please.
Yes.
You're gonna be in
My
Cuba.
answer is yes.
Okay, good.
And then
good.
I'll text you after and
And
say
you'd be like-
you were so right.
Like I cried with.
Oh,
the
I
music.
know I'ma cry.
With the music itself. It just felt so. Ours.
That's how I felt about In the Heights.
Oh yeah.
That's the first time I saw us represented.
You saw it with Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Me too.
And that's listen when it said not paciencia fie, when he said inútil.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
That word?
God, that took me out. You know what I mean? Oh, I can't honestly. I'll start crying now just to think about as a parent, wanting to provide and to write a song that just says I just feel, and that's that poetry in our language. Because useless. I know it just doesn't hit me the same as when he said inútil. Oh, God, that's it's the last thing. I mean, I'm not a man, but I can only imagine that's the last thing a man wants to feel like is inútil. As a dad, and I just oof. But then also so much pride. I mean, there was the beauty of seeing us up there, but just the whole journey, having the joy. Oh my God, having the women in the beauty shop. You know
saw
what I'm
the
saying?
movie, right?
Of course.
Oh my God, how amazing
I
was
saw,
it?
I saw every incarnation.
How amazing was it?
Absolutely amazing. But I used to get my hair blown out by a Dominican all the time. You know what I mean? Like that was like the regular.
The
you
salon scene was
hello, yeah, gorgeous, Linda, tell me something I don't know.
Daphne was
What?
up here and we were talking about it and I was like, yo, that was my favorite scene.
God, I loved it too.
I know, I want to watch it again.
I know it's so. I know, but it's so special to hear how you talk and the rhythms and you just go, oh my God, like this is us, and it's a special feeling.
It is. It's like, this is ours. This belongs to us. These are my
Yeah.
people. This is my hood. This is my music. This is my food.
Yeah.
Dasha's my homegirl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, bro, it feels good.
Yeah.
Me and you could be here forever because it's like, girl, now let's talk about that.
I know we just started. I was like, we're gonna go for drinks for this. Sorry
I
guys,
know,
you're
right?
gonna miss the second half of this. Is gonna take place at such and such bar. Meet us there. No.
It's still good. Now, how did you end up linking up with Tyler Perry?
Oh, so you know what? That was wonderful. That was a phone call
From who?
from Tyler Perry.
From Tyler. Okay, so how did he find
Child, I have
you?
no clue how he got my number.
How did he find you?
Yo no sé.
¿Cómo
No
que tú no
sé.
sabes?
I mean, probably
Pero
just
ven
from.
acá,
I
I
mean,
need
from
to-
my work. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he
Okay,
saw my
you,
work,
but
which is
somebody
great.
slipped him your number, like.
But somebody gave him my number. You know, I think for Tyler that's not hard. You know, you just be like, I want this actor's number.
This
But
is-
that was wild. Like,
Okay.
you know, to get it, and I was like, who is this? You know what I mean?
And you picked up, or you called back.
No, I picked up and I was like, hello? And I was like, wait, hold on a second. That's when you look at your husband and you go, I don't know what the hell is happening, but I think it's Tyler Perry. Right. Don't say nothing stupid right now, okay? But
And he has that distinct voice. You would know it's
oh
him
yeah,
immediately.
right. It's actually, you don't need a confirmation. It's kind of obvious. But I got the phone call and he wanted to talk about the role, and we just talked about what was available in the script, and you know, and I just told him about Hattie Mae and how much I loved that role. And he was like, all right. And actually, he was just like, if you don't mind putting something on tape for Hattie Mae. And I was like, I have no ego about that. You know, especially when you're building relationships. I'm just like, because people do, it's hard for them. You know, I've been in the industry long enough that I'm like, in one sense, in un sentido, you just go, people should know, you know, they know your work and they know the diversity of what you're capable of. But then there are other people who, then they see you and they just see you like that. And I knew Hattie Mae was a little bit farther off. She's not Tegan Price. You know what I mean? She's not tang, tang, tang. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I got to like, you know, show him what I feel this is. And I love to sing and I love 1940s music. So, and I'm like, there's no place that he would know that. So I was like, no, please let me do it. So I put something on tape.
Visual.
Let me give you the visual. Let me do the work, you know? And when you love the work, I'm just like, that's just a part of the work, you know? So I put something on tape and then he called me back literally. I put it on tape. I think like the next day I sent it to him, and then he called me back and he was like, "All right, so you just gonna make my life hard?" That's what he said. He said, "You just making this hard for me." And I said, "That's my job. That's my job, brother." But you know, we talked to each other like friends really very quickly, actually, in those first few phone calls. And he was like, "You got the job," and it was wonderful. And from there, it was like. It was just he's to me he was very easy to talk to and wanting to collaborate and wanting to kind of like create this character and yeah, it was great. I loved it. I loved the role and I loved the jazz scenes and you know, and I got to work with Terrence. Oh my God, what's Terrence's last name? Oh shoot, this is bad. Oh my God, he was the first black man to do an opera right there where Fordham is at Lincoln Center. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm so sorry. We need to find his name.
It doesn't get any bigger than that. While you think,
but he was wonderful.
A Jazzman's Blues on Netflix. It's available now. We're talking about this, and I need you all to watch this movie. You know, it's a love story, but then more importantly, it's not just a love story between a man and a woman. It's a love story between, you know, a mother and her son. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what really connected with me more.
I love that you said that because actually when I think about that show, I always think about one scene in particular, and it's when we're in the juke joint and my son comes home. Mm-hmm. That scene was so important to me. It was important musically because I'm singing, he comes in, he starts singing his part, and then I spoke up because I said, you know, at the tail end, I want to sing, not because I want to take over his song, but because I feel like this is a mother-daughter moment of just being like just unifying on that last line. And so and the way it was edited, it's like my voice cracks a little bit. It's messy. You know what I mean? And I felt like that. I love that about the way he films actually too. Is he doesn't clean it up to make it because it shouldn't have been clean. You know what I mean? He's coming in, we're talking to each other. You know, it's very natural. And the scene that precedes it right after, where you just tell that he's on drugs and he's high. And it's just like, she's just like, oh, you know, she's just trying to be there for her son, but she could see right through him, like every mother, you know, and that just was like, it just felt so clear to me. And the way the actor played it, he did a wonderful job too. He was just trying, you know, you just see him trying to like present the best self. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're looking at your son and it's just like, you know, you high right now, brother. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do you talk to your son, you know, when he's in it? You know what I mean? And you can't reach him. You can't reach him right now. You know, but the beauty of the juke joint is that was the safe place, because especially during that time period, there's no safe place for our young men. Our men of color. They can't fail. They fail on the street, it means death. You know what I mean? So coming home is the safest place. Like, come home to your people, come home to your mommy.
You're safe here.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you know, trying to see if you could turn it around as much as you can. But it's a sad and beautiful moment because he's, as much as he's breaking her heart, he's also in the safest place he could be with people who say, you know what, you could be yourself here. You could be high. We love you. We know all the shit that got you where you are. Because you can blame them, but at the end of the day, you don't know what these black men are dealing with at that time period. You know what I mean? And constantly being the ego shut down and their pride and being able to stand in all their strength and their beauty, and it always being cut down. You know what I'm saying? What that does to a man. You know what I mean? So to be able to see, I don't know. For me, there's all of that is in that scene of just holding him when he comes home. You know?
And it just feels good. Like it just feels real. And like you said, the grittiness of it, it just felt like you were looking at someone's life. It didn't feel like, this movie that was just put together and it just felt so fake. It felt good. And I rewatched it. I watched it last year when it first came out. And I rewatched it again last night because I was like, let me get back into it.
Oh,
and it was the best decision I made last night. It felt good. When I went to bed, I was like, I felt so good. I rewatched it. And you see different nuances and you see things differently. And even you as a person, a year later, you're in a different space.
Yeah, absolutely. In a completely, I mean, even physically, which is like why I love the craft, because it's just like, no matter where I am as a woman, there's a woman like me out there.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always feel like I can come as I am, which took me a long time to learn, because starting out, you're young and you're just like, oh, I want the job. What do I got to do to get the job? And also being biracial. Yeah. It's just like I would go in for Latino stuff and feel like, oh, let me get a blowout. You know what I'm saying? To make myself look more like their version of everything I saw.
Of what we think we want Latinas to look like.
Right. Instead of being able to, take ownership and be like, I can come in with my hair big and fluffy because todavía soy Latina. Like, you can't take that from me. Nobody could take that from me. It doesn't matter what, you know what I mean? And the fact that we do look in all these different shades and being able to educate them. But, when you're young and trying to get a job, I wasn't.
You're not going to do all that.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just like, let me go run and get this blowout and make it easy for them to get this job. So, like, I'm glad that, I've become more courageous and, know that you're going to get it regardless because that's just who I am. And I don't have to change anything. I don't got to run to no beauty salon. I don't got to change. You're going to see me one week and my hair's straight. You're going to see me another one that's an afro. Then you're going to see me in cornrows and you're going to see me in braids. And that's the beauty of being a biracial woman.
Now, you definitely are a chameleon. I'll tell you that much. Because you in Jazzman's Blues, you look nothing like Tegan Price.
Right.
The same way, Gina Walker is a whole nother, character. Let's talk about How to Get Away with Murder. I love that show. Like, how dope.
Yeah, that was special.
How'd you land on that show?
That was, I didn't know for the longest how, because that was a phone call too. I didn't know how.
Where's your number at? Can you put my number there too?
Right. Hello, Mia. Listen, blessings. Thank you, God. Well, listen, the phone calls came after years of walking down these same New York City streets with the backpack on.
I'm pretty sure.
Like the changing of the clothes in the bathroom and all of that.
You know what I mean? Struggle.
Yeah, which is why it's always.
Can I get the bathroom code?
Facts. The bathroom code, right? And they're like, please no changing in the bathroom. And it's like, what do you expect me to change? It's wintertime in New York, man. I'm changing
shower. Right. Let me just change my clothes.
Right, exactly. I'll be 2 minutes in this bathroom. But that's because some of the girls will mess it up for you, man. They do the makeup and they get the makeup all on the counter. Like, ¿qué tú estás haciendo?
Un reguero ahí. 45 minutes tranca en el baño. I'm like, bitch, we all need to change.
We all gotta change. Muévate para el lado. But so I was trying to figure out actually. So finally, late in the game, I finally figured out. They finally told me how I got the job, and the creator, Pete Nowak, he actually saw me in an American Heart Association commercial.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a commercial. It's honestly, I was a waiter still. I used to work at in a cafe in Murray Hill.
Tell me.
Right? For like mad years after I graduated from school. And Penelope Cafe, people probably know it. It's on 30th Street in Lex. I was there all the time. And it's so funny because I got this commercial, and I remember that's when I first met my husband too. And I was like, I told you I'm a real actor. No, like really, like a book. You know what I'm saying? So I always remember that commercial because I was like, that was my way because we had just started dating, and I went to like show him like, no, I'm not just saying it.
I'm on my way to another.
I'm on my way to a job. You're like, hello, I don't just make coffee, okay?
You met him at the shop, at the coffee shop?
No. My girlfriend actually, who's here, she's the one that introduced us because he's from Far Rockaway too.
Another hookup.
Listen, I got good people around me. That's why they say you listen. I'm like, please, you never know who's gonna hook you up. I'm good to everybody. You'll never know where your blessings gonna come
That's why
from.
your phone be ringing.
That's why my phone be ringing. You know what I'm saying? So no. It's good people. It's good people. I'm blessed. I have some great people in my life.
He saw you
But
in
he saw
the American
this.
Heart Association.
So it was
commercial?
like this one. It was basically through in the commercial. You go this. My character goes through the different phases of life.
Okay.
Of like the eras that
Okay.
we as women have been through. So it's it's all So you see
Like the 50s, the 60s, the
exactly.
70s? Okay.
So you see me You see me with the headband on, an industry worker. Then you see me with a fist in the air and an afro.
Why do I
Because
feel-
I'm that chameleon.
why
They
do I
already
feel
knew
like
that I
I've
could do
seen
that.
this?
Because this is from back in the day, Mihai.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm proud of that one. You can find that one. Listen, there's other ones that I'm like, nah, we ain't gotta find that.
Girl,
we
don't-
can, we can leave that. We can leave that dead and underground somewhere. But that's a good one. And when I end it, I'm like a woman in an office and I'm in a business suit and I'm like done up. And that's basically the birth of Tegan. And he said he saw that and he was like, oh, I like her. And it kind of showed acting because it kind of showed me play all these different women. And so that kind of triggered him to go look at my arsenal. And then he found Underground, and then he found Underground. Actually, that was my first show. So he had found Underground and he was
was
like,
your
oh, she
first
can
show?
really act.
That's an amazing show.
So thank you. So then that's why he called me in and was just like, and I remember my team at the time. I got an actual offer for something else for a lead, and they said, "Do you want to do this lead or you want to do a guest star?" Because it was a guest star on How to Get Away. It became a series regular, and I said, "I want to do the guest star." They said, "Are you sure?" And I was like, once again, I feel like that's those little blessings of having perspective. Because I was like, listen, leads are gonna come. But playing opposite Viola Davis and being able to learn from someone who's extraordinary, those blessings don't come. You know what I mean? And I have no problem being mentored, whether she knew it or not. I was watching.
You was on your way. You said, my new mentor is Viola Davis.
I said, nah, right. And people
You told your husband, right?
Too fast people. That's right. Too fast people want to be number one. And it's just like, you let yourself learn. Like, if you get a chance to be around someone who's great, choose that.
Understand.
Choose,
the
yeah.
levels.
That's right. Life is long. And so I'm glad I had that wisdom to know, like, I wasn't in a rush to be in the limelight. I was in a rush to learn. I was in a rush to be around greatness. And I learned a hell of a lot. How to be a number one. I learned, I watched her do it. I watched how she balanced it. I watched because she's a mom. You know what I mean? We had those private talks. We became friends. It's a lot to balance in this career. It's a lot to balance. So it's like that learning is absolutely necessary. So I'm so glad I made that decision. And I always tell somebody, if don't be in a rush.
Amirah,
to just be like, I'm gonna be if I'm famous is bullshit if you ain't got the tools to hold it together.
Let me tell you, you're speaking to the core of who I am. When I entered radio with the Angie Martinez show.
Oh my God, yeah.
I did not want her microphone. I did not want her airtime.
Right,
I just wanted to learn
be
from
with
her.
Angie
Martinez. I'm just back here. I'm chilling.
Right.
But I was absorbing. I was learning. I'm like, this is worth gold.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to get on the microphone. If she told me to turn on the, I would sit here with the mic off.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, and then I would talk.
Sure.
I wasn't thirsty. I didn't want to be her.
Who
I didn't want to
cares?
overstep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I learned? I was
just about to ask you that. What did you learn? Yeah.
I was in the studio with her 5 years.
Uh-huh.
I can write a book with what I learned.
Wow.
From how to move to how to speak to the business of it to
facts,
when to push back to when not to push back. Like,
yep.
I learned, but
and that's the stuff that they don't teach you.
No,
you can't listen. I got 2 degrees. They didn't teach me shit of what I learned from Viola. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what I'm like? That's just like that's the very basics. That's the basics. But when somebody comes in and they wilding out on this microphone, I'm sure you saw that. And watching her navigate that, I'm sure. Listen, I have never been in the booth, but I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? And then her being a woman and watching her navigate that. I mean, that's,
and she would watch me and she'd be like, next time, handle it this way.
Beautiful. Oh,
like
that's
her
wonderful.
Observing me and how I was growing and do this way and do that. Like I say all the time, my OG is Angie Martinez. Who else can say that?
No.
Maybe a couple of guys here and there.
That's
but
dope.
Damn,
I'm sure she. Do you talk to her now?
Yeah. We still work together at Power, and today's her birthday actually.
Oh, happy birthday!
And I hit her up,
Angie.
and I say it all the time. And anytime I get a chance to give her flowers, I do.
Absolutely.
Because she was already an icon, the voice of New York, and to bring me into her space, and just to allow me to learn from her.
But that's the gift, right? I'm sure you filled her up too, to look over and be like, wow, this woman has so much
Oh
potential.
yeah, no, whatever
This
she
is the
needed,
this is the
whatever she
next
needed,
generation.
it's just
She's
like, yo,
passing that baton.
oh, 100%. And
Yeah.
she wasn't a gatekeeper or nothing. She was just like, I'm
Yeah.
flying here, come with me. I'm going to the boxing match, come with me. She was writing her book, and she was like, you want to read it?
I love that.
She's
That's
like,
when your why is different.
right?
But that's that longevity. Now we're talking about longevity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when you want it for a different reason, then you're not a gatekeeper.
No.
Because it's for something bigger. And, you know, it's more. It means it's about more than you.
I remember when
Yeah.
she finished the book and she put me in the acknowledgments. I was like,
Oh, that's
I was like, that
special.
was so sweet. But
Oh, I gotta
remember,
read that now. Now I gotta go get
it's an
get the book.
amazing, amazing biography. I remember she was narrating the book, and I was like, Angie, you have to narrate the book. You have to narrate
Yeah,
the
yeah,
book.
yeah.
It was just like, and it was an amazing experience. But it brings me back to that, you know, the same thing you said, you know, just being alongside Viola Davis, learning, you know, just being in the space, you know, no thirst, no nothing. It was just like, I'm gonna absorb it as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched her choose when to advocate for things in the script. I built relationships with writers, you know, and so even on my show now on Doc, it's just like you just learn like, you don't got to fight for this. You don't got to fight for everything. Everything's not a battle, Mia.
Yep.
Everything, you like, come on. Like, you know, it's still entertainment. But there's certain moments where I'm just like, oh, I got to speak up for this one. You know what I mean?
know, now
right. Like
you have a sense, right?
listen, we just did a domestic violence episode for episode 7, in the second season. And like that one, I was like, okay, let's talk about it. And it's not even in an arrogant way, because once again, you just want to make it better, and you have to respect the people you're working with, you know. But you learn that from watching someone do it, you know, because someone can tell you, oh, advocate for yourself, but that advocacy, how it looks, it has to come with kind of everyone's goal is the same.
Yeah.
To make great work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I want to make this episode the best episode.
That's right.
You know, and
That's
then
right.
you have to have the validity also. It's just like, this is not this me,
Right.
you know, as a biracial woman, as an Afro-Latina, this is not what I would say. This
Yeah.
is not how I would approach
Yeah.
it. This is not how we look. This is not who we operate.
That's actually how I advocate. The only one I remember in How to Get Away, that was the first time I'd advocated at all, was at the end. It was the final scene with Viola and that final season of How to Get Away. And I remember she was basically, they were just when they were deciding whether or not she was going to go to prison for life, or, you know, that scene. And I remember that last scene. And when we first read it, it was great because our writers are wonderful, but it was a little too combative with her. And I was like, they said, well, send us what you think, you know? And of course, like, you know, listen, I thought I was August Wilson, mija. I wrote him like 7 pages, you know what I'm saying?
You're like,
but,
I went to
I got no
work.
ego, you know, so I love collaborating with people who know that, like, I'm not doing that, like, oh yeah, I want you to take the whole thing. I'm just throwing out my idea.
You take what
they
you
took
want.
like, I think it was like one line,
Okay.
honestly. But it did what needed to be done, because what I wanted to do was, I was like, the beauty of these two women is like, it's not petty, and this is the last time you see them. And I felt like the audience is smart. The way that we're saying goodbye is, we're not only saying goodbye to the character and saying like, oh my God, you know, the character she played, Annalise Keaton. We're also saying goodbye to Viola and what she did and how she changed network television.
game.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was very aware of that duplicity. And I was like, this has to be about honoring her legacy.
Beautiful.
And so that speech that I give her when we're sitting on that bench, it has to be about me looking at another woman and saying, I don't give a F what the hell they decide in there. Know who you are. And it makes me cry now, because I meant it so much. It was so important to me to tell another woman. And I was like, this is what the scene has to be. You know what I'm saying? This is not some bullshit. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. No. Know who you are. Know what you've done and be proud no matter what the hell this world is about to do to you. You know what I mean? And then she lays her head on my shoulder. And it was one of those moments that in rehearsal, which sometimes, you know, I come from theater, so that's the best thing. The crew is there, you know, when you show the crew. And the crew was like, and they clapped. And it's one of those things where it's just like, nothing else matters. Like, we don't even got to film it. You know what I mean? We did it for the crew, and they were like, because it's their show. It's the crew show all day.
Yeah, it is.
And for them to watch it and be like, damn, we just said goodbye. We're saying goodbye to our show, and what a beautiful way to say goodbye, honoring her. And I was like, knowing that I was like a part of making sure that told the story that needed to be told about her. I'm proud of that. But I learned that from her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, it was like a full circle
A full
moment.
circle.
You're like, what you taught me, I'm about to put into play right now.
And not even for me.
No.
For her. You know what I'm saying? And this, I'm not even advocating for my own speech. You know what I mean? I'm advocating to represent women in general in a better way, that we could support each other.
You just understood the importance of the scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like, we ain't going out like this. We're gonna use this scene to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. Those are one of those gifts, and you're just like, man, whether we get it on tape, for the history, which they got it, of course, we did the work, but but that little moment with the crew, those are those special moments, because those are the people that work all day, they get there before me, they go home before, so to be able to have them feel it too, and that was a beautiful moment.
The last scene, was that it?
No, we had a salsa scene after that.
Okay.
we still got to do some salsa after that.
Because it would have been so cool if that was like the.
I know, right? Then you said goodbye. Listen, I know that would have been a TV moment, but it was the that was the last week. The last scene we actually got to dance some salsa, and that was I'll squeeze in salsa dancing anywhere.
You could dance?
Yeah, of course.
I can't dance salsa. I could dance bachata. I could dance merengue.
I love bachata. I love merengue. I love all of it. It really is that's my love language.
You know what, Amirah? It's my mother's fault. I can't dance salsa. Because she'd be like, las mujeres de barra que bailan salsa.
That's what she said?
Always. No, tú no vas a bailar salsa.
Yeah.
My younger sister knows how to dance because she took lessons as an adult.
Oh.
But my mother always, she always saw, like, I think because my father was always out in the street.
Yeah.
She always equated, like, salsa dancing and, like, that type of stuff with, like, fast women.
Yeah.
Because she was like the housewife.
Listen, you see what they're doing now in the bachata right now. Esa bachata, woo, esa está caliente, mija.
Esa bachata.
That new versions, I'm like, ay, Dios mío.
Apretadita.
Oh, honey, that's baby number 3 right there.
Oh, my God. Wow. Listen, why you just said bachata and I thought about Romeo, and I'm like, Romeo's not in the best position right now. But el pobrecito. I feel like he can never win, and I love Romeo, but going over and doing that, New York Times podcast and trying to New York Post, New York Times, and trying to play it safe backfired.
Yeah.
And I get what him and Prince Royce were trying to do, and I feel like a lot of creatives, artists, and they feel like it's not my place. I act or I sing, and a lot of times people worry. Not in this room. I feel like everyone that's been in this room has been very defiant. And I'm like, ooh, you don't care. Oh, you really don't care. Luis Guzman was here. He's like, cancel me. I don't care. I'm like, ooh, child. I wasn't ready for this.
Right.
But, as what's happening right now with Latinos is something that I don't think any of us has the luxury to be like, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not affected, because we're all affected. We're affected as a country.
Yeah, clearly.
Forget just Latinos. Like, they literally just murdered like a white woman, like an ICE agent.
Right.
Like where are we at right now?
Where are we at?
And she was like a mother.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
And it's still being justified.
Oh, of course.
That's what makes it wild.
And what's crazy? My husband said,
you're just like, we're all looking at the same video, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah. No, my husband said the ICE agent's gonna get off, and I'm like, and the sad part is, probably is.
He's right. Yeah.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Now, what's happening right now, with Latino, with ICE, it's sad the way that we're being targeted. But it's like, in any way that any of us can, we have to, even if it's just like, yo, this is wrong. It could be, this is wrong.
Right.
That's it. It doesn't, but you can't take a stance of, you know what? That don't got nothing to do with me. And I'm pretty sure he'll come back out of it and it'll work. But Jesus Christ, TikTok is not happy right now. And then he said,
no, because we live in a world with too much information. And listen, that younger generation's bold.
Oh, girl.
Thank God.
They're like, don't buy his tickets. Cancel. Romeo. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then he said Aventura in English, and they can't get over it. I'm like, he said Aventura like a white man. I'm like, come on. He was
listen,
referencing.
Let's talk about that's the real offense.
Oh yeah. But he was referencing a Drake song. I kind of I felt bad because Drake was singing in English, and when he said Aventura, he said it in English. Right. He didn't say Aventura in Spanish. Right. But yeah, bachata. Let's. I digress.
Yes, no, but there's
Romeo, te quiero, mi amor. Cuando tú quieras venir para acá, tú y yo nos ponemos, hablamos de todo lo que tenemos que hablar. But I feel like the problem with Romeo is he doesn't do much press.
Yeah.
And then when he does, he doesn't want to put his foot in his mouth. But then he does. Because it happened when he came here. He came to the Breakfast Club.
And it happened here?
And it happened here. It was when, a lot of like alcohol poisoning was happening in Dominican Republic. A lot of tourists were dying. This is like
yes. I remember that.
Yeah. And then, Charlemagne asked him, what's going on in your country? Que, ah. And he was like, well, my mother's Puerto Rican.
Oh, come on.
Girl, the Dominicans was not with the shit. They were like, cancel Romeo.
That's the wrong
I'm
answer,
like,
bruh.
come on, Romeo, ¿qué te pasa?
Oh, no, he got to go back to PR training. We got to bring him to the front of the congregation. That's what we were saying in the black community. He need to come back to the front of the congregation.
He got to come to Gracias Come Again. Listen, Romeo, I got you. We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Sal, make it happen. You've been telling me Romeo's coming up here for quite some time. I know what the trade-off is, but we're going to make it happen. But,
He'll be safe here.
Oh, no, he will. Oh, no, 100%. And that was the initial name that we wanted, was a safe space. By heart was like, there's too many podcasts called a safe space. And then Gracias Come Again became the thing. And, it works.
It does.
I feel like if you Google safe space, a million things come up.
Yeah.
Or if you Google Gracias Come Again, I come up and maybe another store that might have used it.
That's what we want.
I know. Now, let's talk doc right now. I'm watching it on Hulu. But
Season 1 is on Netflix, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
and
like,
YouTube.
It's everywhere now.
And YouTube.
Oh, hello, YouTube.
Hell yeah, you could pay on YouTube. You better make sure you get your YouTube coin, too.
Child, I know, these days. I remember the old days we used to get all the residuals from everything. Commercials used to bring me bank. I was like, another check? Nowadays, they're just like, no, mija, you're not going to get nothing for that.
And that blows my mind. I was talking to one of the girls from Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
I've had 3 of them have come up, so I can't remember which one told me, but she told me, she's like, we don't get that Netflix money.
That's crazy.
They're like, they're re-airing, restreaming. Little kids know who I am, and I only got paid that one time when we first did the show. I'm like, what?
Yeah, honestly, I'm still confused because we did our whole strike and everything. I mean, I know they fought really hard for it, so shout out to our union. I'm never gonna undercut our union because I never.
Fran Drescher was calling me daily.
Man, listen, I don't mess with the unions. That keeps us together. That holds us together. But it is still shocking that it's just wild. And at the top they're making bank.
Oh, of course.
They're making their coins.
Every time it goes to a different streaming service, the top is getting another check.
Yeah.
But the actors in front of the camera should also be getting another check.
Absolutely.
Because it's your image.
And it's also too is what sustains us to the next job. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks it's so glamorous, but those residuals, that's why when you're between work, and it helps us to choose more quality jobs. You know what I'm saying? It's just like whenever you take care of the working man, I think you're always working man, woman, you're always going to get better work no matter what field you're in because you're valuing people. You know what I mean? So people don't, people, when people are desperate, that's when you're going to get the worst of us. So it's just like, nah, give people what they deserve so that then everyone doesn't have to feel like they're scrambling, to survive.
You're feeling desperate. Like, yo, how am I going to pay my bills? And then you're taking all types of crazy roles because you're like, well, I need to pay the mortgage or I'm going to lose the house.
Facts.
And then
that's very real. That's not even like a...
And then you end up taking a role that, is a disservice to all of us as Latinos.
Right.
But then I'm like, I got to understand her. Amirah was going to lose her house. So,
right.
I don't like the way I'm being depicted.
Sorry, that's
but,
it.
You know what I'm saying? She said,
you got to pray over everything. You say something closely, remotely bad.
No puedo prender mi casa.
I'm like, Dios me bendiga.
No, claro que sí. Claro que sí. Claro que sí. Now, what are we doing for 2026? Talk to me.
Listen, 2026 is starting out strong.
How's it looking?
It's looking good because I feel like I'm focused on getting back to me.
Okay.
Which is great.
What does that mean?
What it means is like I feel like there's all these seasons, right? And I do my seasons well. You know what I'm saying?
In
like
life.
I was in these New York City streets.
Hey.
I was living I had a good time. I have no FOMO. So now I'm the season of motherhood.
Yeah.
I love it.
How beautiful is
it? I don't feel like I'm missing anything. That's the
You
beauty
already
too
did
about
it.
having kids older. Is one of the blessings.
You lived your life.
Yeah, I lived my life. So I'm having fun. But then it's like now even with filming, it's that conversation of being a working mom. And and not having mom guilt, and
That's real.
that mom guilt is so real, and realizing when I need to fill my cup, and I feel like this job really supports me as a mom. I'm really grateful for that. I have to say that the producers support me as a mom, and so that's really wonderful to be on a show like that. And I have so many women who come up to me, even from our crew and in the cast, who are just like, Amirah, how do you do it? Because I want to have kids, but the thought of having kids in this industry terrifies me. But I'm watching you do it. So, and that's, that means the world to me. But I think I'm also refining how I'm doing it. I'm figuring it out. I'm literally in it. I'm not at the end writing my book yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, we got some decades to go for that. I'm in the middle of still discovering how do I when what I need. But I did realize I was like, I'm a great mom, man. I could say that. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
beautiful.
Like,
I love it.
you know, I could say that confidently and just be like, so that means that I need to fill up my cup too. You know? So even on this press trip, man, listen, last year, Amirah, you talk about this year, last year, Amirah would have been like, great, as soon as we wrap this press, I'm going to the airport. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, no, I'm going to stay in that hotel room and I'm going to get in that warm, fluffy ass bed or
Good
that
for you.
cool,
Good
fluffy
for
ass bed.
you.
You know what I'm
Good for
saying?
you.
And I'm going to sleep in because I never sleep in because I'm up with my kids every day or I'm up going to work, which I love both of those. But I'm going to fill my cup. Go to art gallery tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And just feel like get back to Amirah. And I think too when you're a partner, you know what I'm saying? I was in the airport and I was like, I ain't got my husband talking about go, mommy, go, 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 go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like I could go at my pace, and I'm just like so. I feel like what this year is like for me, and I have a platform to tell men and women. It's just like if you're in any kind of relationship, make sure you take that where are you finding that quiet time to center on who's honey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we all need that time.
No, we
to
do.
be like, and then with Instagram, it's like we can't even take you going to the bathroom con el baño con tu teléfono.
Con el teléfono.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like if you're in the toilet, you can't even take a poop without. It's just like when are we having quiet moments anymore to hear what God has to say? To remember something that mami te dijo. You know what I'm saying? To just remember like a memory. My daughter made me laugh and we giggled. I put my daughter to bed before I even came here, and she was in the room with me, and I knew I was about to leave, so I said, let's have some, we were doing our quality time. La chiquita ya estaba durmiendo, and she just wanted to, but you got to be present for these moments, and that's what I've learned, right? I'm learning to be present for myself now in this year, but balancing that with, because I moved so much, when I'm with my daughter, I'm present. So I'm looking at her, and we just started she made up this game, and she was like, bong, and she just like tapped my nose. So then I'm like, bong. So then I tapped like her elbow. So we just started doing it, but then we were cracking up because she didn't know what I was gonna touch next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we were just giggling, and like it was a laugh that like I hadn't even heard my daughter laugh like that, because it was like that real hearty laugh of just discovering something in the moment and being present. And I was like, this wouldn't have happened if she would have been in the room and I would have been like, let me just check this email.
No.
Let me just check what my girl Stacy just sent me about, meeting up with honey. I'm like, there's time for that. There's going to be time for that, and I'm going to be prepared, and we're going to have a good time, which we're having right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're present.
And we're present. But in that moment, it's like, I don't need to do everything in this moment. I need to be with my daughter. That's what I need to do right now. And so I'm learning to do that for me now, too, and say, you know what? I'm a great mom.
You are.
And right now, I'm going to be a great Amirah. And I'm going to laugh and I'm going to giggle and I'm going to kick it with adults. You know what I mean? Which is so nice to talk to adults and not, just 4-year-olds. And, so I'm like, I'm going to have a great 3 days and I'm going to go back home and I'm going to be a dope mom again. I'm going to pour into them. Re-energized.
Different perspectives, different vibes.
Yeah. I mean, creative specifically need that. Because I was on the plane and I was already jotting down things that I want to do and like, collaborations. And I'm like, I got to talk to Stacey about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but like that half of the time that doesn't happen because we don't give ourselves space. And as creatives, you need that quiet time. You need that space because you don't know when that's going to hit. You can't schedule that in and be like, from 9 to 5, I'm going to be creative.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit can hit you at 3 a.m. and you're like, that's a great idea.
The amount of notes I have. You mentioned the plane, and I read an entire book going to Colombia and back because there was no Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
I had no phone.
Oh, that's good.
Name of the book is...
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, it's an amazing book, and we're starting a new segment, and it's called Let's Support. I feel like that's a good way to introduce this book to people. He's a new author. It's a brand new book. He's from New York. He's from the Bronx, un dominicano. The name of the book is Loca.
Oh, hello.
And it's a coming...
Let's turn into a movie. I'm ready. I'm available.
It's amazing. It's a coming of age story. And it was just an amazing book. And vividly, I was able to, paint all the characters in my mind. But it was because everybody's asleep on the plane. My phone wasn't working. I didn't have a computer. And I haven't done that in such a long time.
Yeah.
And, if you're listening to this episode, let's support, this author.
What's his name again?
Pablo Heredia.
Nice.
The name of the book is Loca. I went into a Barnes and Nobles and actually bought it.
I love a book. I love a book in my hand.
Thank thank you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
I love a
Rodriguez
book.
told me to buy the book.
Oh, dope.
I DM'd it to her. I said, look, girl, I bought the book.
All
And
right, you know you're going to ask you to text me about it later.
I am.
We're
And, you know,
advancing this relationship very quickly.
I wish I know, right? And I wish I had it. I actually gave it to my friend who was on the trip with me, and I finished the book, and I was like, it's yours now. But you know, it's a full circle moment because, you know, Ida came here and she told me about the book. I went, I bought the book, I supported the author. We're talking about the book now. I gave it to my friend. Like, it's just a full circle moment, you know, and it's what has to happen with.
And what's that segment going to be then? What's the segment, the new segment you're working on?
Let's support.
Let's support. So just about, is it going to be just across the board?
Anybody you want to support, you tell me.
Dope.
You know, it could be a movie, it could be a new restaurant. Like, it's just a way to actually give back, not just make it about, you know, Amirah.
Yeah.
I want Amirah to also bring something forth and be like, you know what? I went to this cafe and, you know, it was owned by, you know, a Chilean family. Let's support them. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. And I think the reality is that we want to, but you know, I mean, we got to give each other some grace. I think we're so hard on each other sometimes, but it's just like sometimes we don't know where it is. And you know, you think about it every day. Everybody's going to work. Everybody's trying to pay their bills. So it's just like, I love that for your platform to make it easy for people to be like, you know what? Boom, I just heard it on Honey's show. I can go get the book. You know what I mean? Because you want to support, but you're like, I don't know the authors. I don't have time. I'm sitting here going to work and then coming home to my kid. Like, when am I going to find the time to be like, who are the Latin authors that I should be reading? You know what I mean? But you can just be like, great. You listen to the Honey show and you could just know.
And you know,
go buy Loca.
And you know, it could be a play.
Dope.
It could be a movie. It could be a book. You know, if you're out here being a creative, especially if you're a young creative, like this is like his first novel. Like, it's just like,
that's great.
Let's get this book out there. Let's support it. And you know, it'll turn into a play. It'll turn into a movie. I can definitely see it being a movie. But it really, really connected with me. And you know, if you're looking for a new book, especially a hardcover book, I love a book in hand. Yeah. You know, I read books on my phone, but it's just something about turning the pages.
It is. And I love an audiobook. Just because yo puedo cocinar, you know?
I know, but
and you got it in your ear.
But
no, I still treasure. I'll still buy it. Because I still like my library's big because I do love a book in my hand.
Here's the problem with the audiobooks, Amirah. If I don't like the voice, I can't do it.
Hola, honey.
I know.
I am going to read you a book about...
You sound like a damn robot. I don't want that. And then I lost my money and I lost the
Chapter 1.
If it sounds like Dracula, olvídate, I hate it. Any type of Transylvania type of accent.
That shit'll take you right. That'll take me right out too. That's true. The
and if
voice
you have a
has to be
biography,
right.
don't play with me. I need you to narrate.
That's right.
Don't play with me.
That's true.
What the hell is this?
I know. I feel like there's one in my mind that they had someone else narrate it, and I was like, but who is this?
Unless you're dead, I need you to narrate your own biography.
Right. I want to get the whole vibe. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
I feel like we're new besties.
I feel like it too.
I'm so happy you pulled up today, man, and I'm so proud of everything that you've done. And when I discovered that you were an Afro-Latina and you were a part Boricua, I was like, I love her even more. This is absolutely amazing. And, you know, this is a platform for us, you know, across the United States and across the world. You know, they're going to hear this, and I want you all to, you know, stream Doc on Fox. I'm telling you, it's on Netflix, season 1, on Hulu.
Yeah.
If it airs today, then tomorrow it's on Hulu, right?
Absolutely. You got it down. Yeah, it's on Fox on the day, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. But then the next day it's on Hulu. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're going to keep representing our people with pride and joy.
And beauty.
And, you know, hello.
Un
pintalabio no está mal.
Tan linda que te ve. I love Dr. Gina Walker. It's gorgeous. I'm like, okay, she'll be my friend. Amirah Vann, you are amazing. Your representation matters. What you're doing out here for us, you know, as Afro-Latinas, as women of color, as mixed women, you're carrying a lot of titles on your back.
This means a lot to me, honey. I know we're rapping, but I just wanted to say,
no, yeah, go ahead,
like talking to I'm looking at you, looking like my family, and it took a long time for me to get here.
Yeah,
you know, because being biracial, like. And then coming out in underground, it was like I was very much quickly embraced by the black community.
Oh, yeah.
But people want to pigeonhole you and just be like, yeah, she's black. And I am.
The thing is,
I don't deny that. I am. I'm very much both. But also, I mean, my mom is Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm culturally, I'm whatever that means to be both. I feel 100% both. It's not 50-50. You know what I'm saying? But like growing up, the reality is like I grew up still with my mother's Latina. There's something that will always be special. And listen, my black roots, I don't even care. Listen, you talk about people coming here bold. I know who I am, so I don't care what you got to say to what I'm saying right now. I know I'm black and I know I'm Puerto Rican. But like, when you have a Puerto Rican mother, your mother is no one's going to replace your mother.
Never.
And so I grew up with that. So when I'm finally now in this part of my career and I'm being loved on by my Latina, and my Latino community, and being able to feel like just at home, because like this is my norm. This was normal for me in casa, but in my career there was no merging of that. You know what I mean?
And here we are.
And I just feel so proud, and I feel so happy, and I feel so comfortable, and I
was
feel like
sending
I'm
it to
back
everybody.
home.
I'm like, she's Puerto Rican, right? She's Puerto Rican, right?
Just as I am, I sit here comfortable in my skin. Don't feel like I need to, be coming out here fluent in Spanish.
No,
I mean,
100%.
pero está ahí. Mira, si tenemos que hablar en español,
Vamos.
Yo lo tengo, está ahí.
Mi tarjeta está aquí.
Hello. Better if I gotta sing a song in Spanish, then you'll get it better from me. But but it's just it fills my heart with like a joy that I don't know that you would that anyone really understands unless you're like a bilingual kid who struggles with that. You know what I mean? But so to be at this point in my career where I'm like, my Latino people know me and they love me and they're giving me my hugs and my love, and I'm feeling that support from, makes me feel whole in a way that like it's like, you complete me, honey.
Oh my God. Here's your heart.
Facts. So it's a beautiful moment for me, and I really appreciate it. You taking the time to have me on and to see me in all of my,
I see all of it.
All of my mixed raceness.
All of it. All
of my salsa, everything. Collard greens, plátanos and collard greens.
Oh my God, you saw that play too?
What'd you say?
You saw that play too?
Oh, of course.
I feel like Charlamagne was in it. I don't know what, right? I remember I read the book. It was so little. Did you have the book?
No, I didn't have the book.
It was like a book like this size.
Yeah.
It was the most ghettoest little book in the world. And then it came to Off-Broadway. And I said, I am there. Because,
Absolutely.
growing up in New York.
That's every Thanksgiving was plátanos. You know what I mean? Well, it wasn't plátanos for Thanksgiving.
You know what I mean.
But
I know what you mean.
it's like pasteles and mac and cheese and collard greens. Like, I
all
mean,
of it.
Like, we have all of it. Yeah.
It was a fusion.
Yeah, that's my house. So it's good to be present to all of that.
We love you. We appreciate you.
I love you.
And gracias. Come again.